we move on to our next match on the card, and this one is at the opposite end of the weight spectrum. We move back to the super heavyweight division and onto the left arm, ladies and gentlemen, for a battle that will be contested over the best of 5 rounds. Get ready for the stage to shake. Ladies and gents, let's introduce our athletes firstly to you now. And I want to start with the local boy. He is hailing from and representing the United States of America. Raise it up for Chicago's own Pavlo Derbedyenyev. Ladies and gentlemen, the smiling Pavlo Derbedyenyev waits on the stage for the introduction of his opponent. And this man is truly a monster. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to welcome this multiple South American Continental Champion and multiple WAF Champion of the World back to the East versus West stage. He is a legend of his home nation of Brazil. Raise it up for Jacked Jesus Wagner Bortalato.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a match scratch here, a little visa problems, but the replacement is amazing. Not only from the United States, but from right here in Chicago. Make some noise for Pavlo.
Travis, we can see Wagner Bortalato on the left of the screen, Pavlo on the right. Wagner, the legend out of Brazil, of course. We've seen him in many great matches over the years. You can see high level position from Pavlo with really no response from Wagner in respect to the high, but now it comes up late. A lot of sharking going on here, Travis.
No doubt. And ladies and gentlemen, the most entertaining arm wrestler in the game is at the main table. Wagner is about to blow the roof off of this building. Watch for the aggression. Watch the power of the Brazilian, and my goodness, the victory celebration, if it happens, will be epic.
Yeah, they call him terremoto, which means earthquake, is my understanding. But right now, referee's grip, Wagner Bortalato.
You're straight.
Closing second, referee's about to get them away. Pavlo looking solid. And there's the flop press, the aggression. The sudden flop press from Wagner. Very impressive. Pavlo only just responding in time. Wagner Bortalato, Pavlo Derbedyenyev, opening exchange there, very, very fiery. You can see that Pavlo had a fantastic setup in terms of the wrist and the high knuckle position. Almost no load there from Wagner, but exploded into that flop press. And you can see, that's what he's known for. He, once upon a time, he did injure Michael Todd in a press-on-press. He's had pins on Devon Larratt. As Wagner Bortalato, we know that flop press is lethal. And right now, Pavlo's just felt it. But in the strap, let's see if he can get a little bit more control as Bill sets this one up.
Don't move.
Fantastic control there, Pavlo, with all the hand control in the world. Wow! Pavlo Derbedyenyev takes that 1-0. And he turns to the crowd.
Let them hear you, Chicago!
We're going to do the
Impressive arm wrestling there. Pavlo Derbedyenyev absorbing the full offense from Wagner Bortalato. Hand control, and then very cleanly returns to center and gets the pin.
And got notified here, what, 72 hours ago that there was a possible problem with the visa and that Pavlo, would he be willing to step in? And I was there. He looked right at the guys and said, hey, whatever you guys need, I'm here to help.
Yeah,
Pavlo, the consummate professional, and listen, for the past year and a half, this gentleman's been put in the work. You can tell by the looks of him, he has been training, opens a new gym here right down the street. Most people here will be going there for the after pool afterwards. Pavlo is dedicated and definitely interested in that top 10 when it comes to East versus West arm wrestling.
Yeah, what a testament to his conditioning to be able to step up at such short notice and take the first round of Wagner Bortalato. Now, round 2 as it begins, we're going to see what adjustments Wagner brings. The main offensive weapon of his has just been negated in the straps. Not sure what adjustment we can expect from the Brazilian superstar. We know he's explosive. He has good endurance as well. We'll see where this one goes.
You can see from Pablo focusing on that back pressure and in that top roll. That's not normally what Pablo's known for. He's usually the bully at the table, coming forward, being the stronger man. He recognizes the power of the Brazilian, understands that outside arm wrestling is definitely the way to attack it.
Don't move. One warning.
One warning there on Wagner. I suspect Wagner might want to keep this one out of the strap. Let's see if he looks for a bit of wrist control, but you can see that back pressure being loaded up from Pavlo.
You can see Pablo laying on that tricep, pushing that hand straight up in the air.
And yes, off to the straps we go. Wagner did entertain the idea of holding on for a little while, but the back pressure was too much. The pronation getting through the hand of Wagner, and Pavlo getting that strap secured. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, a little more hand and wrist. I would say commitment from Wagner, maybe what's needed. Kind of likes to push in that press while he has control in a hook. The back pressure from Pavlo, super committed from the get-go of staying as far away from Wagner's hand as possible, starting to work on the pinkies, then the ring finger, and there goes the hand and wrist. Here we go, round 2. Can it be the same soup warmed over? Can Pavlo get separated, lay on that tricep, and then once he stops the match, you can see the leverage advantage from round 1. Pavlo looking to stay with that same procedure.
Referee's grip.
Don't move. Go!
And there's the start, Pavlo Derbedyenyev. Top roll v top roll attempt there, and too much hand control and side pressure. Pavlo in amazing form at the moment, 2-0, just one win away.
Absolute phenomenal job there from Pavlo, able to slow down the aggression of Wagner here, really making that thing hand to hand and not arm to arm. Pablo's super impressive here. For someone that found out just 48 hours ago that this was happening, a tremendous showing there from Pavlo.
Yeah, now back's against the wall now for Wagner Bortalato. I suspect he's going to return to his signature flop press and maybe just dig deep, maybe try to pull off a Ryan Belanger style, just commitment.
No doubt. There's one thing we know for sure. There's no quit in the Brazilian super heavyweight. He's going to give you everything he's got.
I'm right on the spot with him. Because I was a little bit concerned that he may be much faster. No, not
Just
that,
listening
not
in
that
the
much.
corner. Bob Brown there with Pavlo.
Yeah.
Speed, one of the weapons that Wagner Bortalato possesses that Pavlo is being weary of.
Ну ничего, нормально. То же самое он говорит.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind the Brazilian just for a quick second. All the energy that he's got, let's hear it for these two super heavyweight left-handed arm wrestlers.
All right, straight into the referee's grip by the looks of it. Bill Collins, head referee. Wagner Bortalato back against the wall. Last chance here.
Good. Yep.
He's going with that low hand, no load approach again, giving the high ground away freely to Pavlo. Look for the explosive flop press from Wagner.
Move.
He gets it in, Travis. He gets it in. But Pavlo with the commitment, the low hand top roll defense. Amazing defense. Looks like we've got a shoulder touch. But wow, Wagner committed, and he got it.
Yeah, dangerous position right there. Full extension from Pablo there. That was close, ladies and gentlemen. Pablo's definitely going to have to do a little better job compromising the hand and wrist. He had it all on there.
Yeah, Pavlo perhaps a little too responsive there as opposed to dictating the start. He let Wagner Bortalato initiate, and Wagner didn't commit to a flop press, but actually curled in the wrist before getting the shoulder behind. Made the difference, gave him some more purchase, some more control over the press, and came oh so close.
And there had to be some wear and tear there on Pavlo. We are going to see exactly how much now. Not sure that's the safest position to be in these days. If I was him, I'd get to that strap a little more deliberate off the start.
Yeah, look for the explosive from Pavlo. He's going to want to avoid that same situation. Wagner's going to hunt it though.
I'm going to say it over again. Don't move.
Early warning there on Wagner. But both guys know what's coming there. You can see Pavlo, he doesn't want to miss this jump. He wants that strap. Wagner says, I'm not gifting it to you. You got to earn it.
Timing is key here for Wagner. Can he get that shoulder behind his hand, and can he keep some sort of purchase on the hand to start that press? If he sinks it in here, this could just be getting started. And the roof will go crazy with a win, with any of these rounds being won by the Brazilian.
Don't move.
Good start once again from Wagner, but can't quite get it, but he's firing himself up. You can see he has not given up yet.
I think he just broke Bill Collins' finger there accidentally. It was on the table when Wagner come pounding down with that ground and pound there. Yeah. Bill Collins, are you okay?
Wagner Bortalato, the man has so much heart, you can see it. He will not take a backward step. He's committed. He understands that he's got some fatigue now on the bicep of Pavlo, and he needs to take advantage of that and get that shoulder behind the hand straight away. Pavlo just needs to keep control for just a little bit, a little moment. Get him out of the shoulder, and it will be his. But it's so easy, Travis, when you can sense it, but then it's so hard when you have Wagner crushing down on you.
100%, and you can see too, like, the bicep opening up each time. That's two straight matches where that hand went all the way down to quite 9 o'clock there. That bicep starts opening up regularly, and it continues to do it.
Oh, but Pavlo gets the hand control. Wagner holding on, refusing to die. He's still got the shoulder behind, but the
got
strap
a match.
almost coming apart now. Pavlo just posting and posting and posting, getting more and more height. The hands are going to slip through the strap any moment. Pavlo almost with the pin, and the stop on the strap coming apart. Look, to be honest, that's a bit of a get out of jail free card. I think Pavlo was in a great position, but he over-committed to it, and the strap came apart. Needed to commit to the finish earlier.
And listen, that uneducated person that you brought to the arm wrestling event just hit you on the shoulder and said, why doesn't he just stand up? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever been in that position, there is no standing up. You are committed, and it takes a lot of effort to get those feet back underneath of you and have the ability to rotate up and pin. We'll see. The commitment from Pavlo just to get the hand and wrist is a serious commitment, and you can see from the lower body, he is in no position. Those feet are not in a position to stand up here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a crossroads right here. Down 2-0, seemingly dominant performance from Pavlo, but ladies and gentlemen, this match is super close.
Yeah, Wagner Bortalato, he can sense that he's very close to getting the lane he needs. Couldn't quite get the full control and the shoulder behind the hand in the press. Did have to resort to the flop press, and Pavlo taking advantage of that. But this time in the straps, we'll see if he can get that bite. The breathing is deep from both men now. You can still see that high hand position from Pavlo is repeated once again.
And maybe best to make this thing 3-0 and not see the victory celebration of Wagner, because it could become a tsunami of continuous wins.
Wagner Bortalato, that low hand grip, that low hand press.
Flatten your wrist.
Very unique style there from Wagner. He goes so far down the arm of his opponent, willingly.
Don't move.
Pavlo with the offensive top roll, but this time a bit of wrist control from Wagner. A King's move coming from Wagner now. We're in the King's move from Wagner Bortalato. He gets control. He takes the control in the height. Elbow foul though. Wow, Wagner was reinventing his style live before us.
We got a real battle there. What a great showing. Pavlo with his best moment.
And they called it a win. A pin for Pavlo. 3-0, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for your man, Pavlo Derbedyenyev.
As entertaining as you can get from a 3-0 match. Big ups from Wagner and from Pavlo. Let's go to Neil Pickup, see if we can get with Pavlo and understand what was going through his head when he got the match and how happy he is with the win. Great job, guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pavlo Derbedyenyev is just over here. I had to chase him. It took me a while to catch him. I'm not that fast in sparkly shoes. Now, Pavlo Derbedyenyev, here we are in Chicago, your hometown. And you told me a little story the other day when we visited your gym about getting late call up for a match, going into that match and surprising yourself with a win, and a really significant win. You getting a bit of deja vu right now?
Well, yes. It's not a surprise. I had plenty of time. My first match was in 1997, so I did have plenty of time. And here I am, still doing this.
Now, joking aside, we've seen you pull very impressively on that left arm before. When the call was made after Manuel couldn't get through with the customs issue, there was only one man to call. You were right here. What went through your mind? Were you concerned about it, or were you excited to face Wagner?
Well, absolutely. Wagner is an amazing opponent, and he's on the list, and he's been a legend puller for years and ages. And I did not underestimate him. I did not, in reality, have any preparation time, especially for him. But, you know, it pays off when you're constantly working on something.
Now, you're obviously a very technical arm wrestler. Only visiting the gym the other day, we saw all the equipment that you train with to give you the different angles, breaking the sport down into very small minutiae. It's fair to say Wagner is all gears forward, top end strength, and he threw the kitchen sink at you in that last round.
Well, yeah, he is, as I said, he's an amazing opponent, and he adjusted a little bit to my technique because I did not go any side, and he applied proper, direction of the pressure, and that's why it was not easy.
Now, if you had a little bit more notice coming into a match, ideal scenario, and you could write your own script on who you would face next, what names are on that short list? Who do you feel like a good match would be for you?
Listen, it's not up to me. I have a few names in my mind for sure.
Now's the time. Let's spit them out there. Throw them into the ether,
Well, let's move me up in ranking step by step. Let's put me every other one. And then we'll see.
Well, I had a little evil thought come into my mind tonight. We saw Rikard Bornman make an impressive debut. And I really did sort of start to do the mental maths how you two would go on.
Sure, absolutely. I'll be ready. Give me a little longer notice, at least double.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chicago, massive round of applause for the super powerful, super talented Pavlo Derbedyenyev.